Attracting girls effectively can be really tough and challenging and frustrating for the average guy. That's why in this video, I will explain 3 tips to easily attract girls to you. However, if you're here with the limited mentality and mindset that you're just going to say one thing or do one thing and then just have this girl really interested in you and attracted to you just because you said that one thing, that just tells me that you have a limited mentality. But if you have a growth mindset and an abundance mindset and you're willing to learn, then this video is for you, and you should stay tuned and watch until the end so you can gain the most possible out of this video. What's going on, guys? My name is Assam from dopelifecoaching.com, and today I'm going to be talking about 3 tips to attract women easily to you. Before you watch the rest of the video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button and you also subscribe below. Make sure you also turn on the bell notifications to get immediate notification to my new content every single time it gets released. So tip number 1, use banter. Now, what exactly is banter? Banter is basically playful humor. Now, how exactly do you use humor? It's a common saying that girls just want to have fun. They even made a song about it in the 80s. Now that you know that, how exactly do you target that and make them have a good time and just have fun? Again, banter. Banter is a very quick way to do that. There's many methods to do this, but here's one I really like. In a nutshell, just be ridiculous and funny with a serious face on whenever you say something to her. Do this for a few, and then after a bit, just give in and be like, I was just joking this whole time, and then laugh about it. More likely than not, she's actually going to know that you were joking, and then she's gonna laugh it off too, and she's gonna be like, oh my God, you're so silly, you're this, you're that, and she'll be having a good time, more than likely. Here's one great example you can use. If you and a girl are just talking on a date, right? You can go ahead and say, let me see your hand real quick, I wanna see something. I've been thinking about this for some time. And so you look at her hand, and then you like observe the lines and the ridges in her hand, and then you can be like, holy shit, this line right here tells me you're an oath girl. And she's gonna be like, what do you mean by oath girl? You're gonna be like, oh, I can't tell an oath girl what an oath girl is. I mean, you should know this. No, tell me, what's an oath girl? What's an oath girl? And then you go on and joke about it, you get so ridiculous. Remember, you're ridiculous, you're being playful, you're bantering with her. You go ahead and say, oh, that just means that we're gonna fight all the time, and then every time we fight, I'm gonna win, and then after I win, you're gonna get upset because I win all the time, and then because I win every single time, I'm gonna feel guilty if I don't make it up to you, and then after I make it up to you, we're gonna have good makeup sex. After we have good makeup sex, you're gonna feel like I manipulated you into it, so you're gonna feel bad, and you're gonna file a restraining order against me, and it's just gonna be a whole case of multiple headaches, one after the other. What I just said right there, that was super ridiculous. I was just really quick and really witty. At least it looked that way. Now, when you're doing this with a woman and you're bantering with her with a serious face on, but then you laugh after it, she's gonna be like, holy shit, this guy's like, it's kind of like a roller coaster. And more than likely, even with your serious face, again, she'll know that you're just joking with her and you're just having a good time. And then she's more than likely, after saying something very ridiculous like that, she's gonna be laughing her ass off to the point where her stomach probably hurts. The idea is you loosened her up. You can't be tense and laugh at the same time. So it's like you're cutting the tension cord between you two, so to speak. So tip number 2, be sexually honest. Now, what exactly does sexual honesty mean? Being sexually honest doesn't necessarily mean you're talking about your feelings or that you're doing something sexual all the time. No, being sexually honest is simply showing her your indicators of interest, showing, not saying. Now here's the important part. When you tell a girl how attractive she is, most attractive girls are used to it and it doesn't really affect them that much because they're so used to it. It's like a generic compliment. However, when you show through your actions your intent, your sexual honesty, by holding her hand, by going in for the kiss, by surprising her with a kiss, by touching her in a certain way, doing all those things after rapport has been established, by doing that, you make her feel like she's closer to you, and better yet, you show confidence and sexual honesty, which is extremely attractive to girls. Girls love that type of stuff, especially when you're spontaneous and unpredictable about it. They love it. You could be out on a date with a girl and you're just walking in the park, maybe at night, and there's a good view. You two are just vibing, and then all of a sudden you go in for the kiss, you hold her hair, and you just go in for the kiss. Obviously, again, this assumes that rapport has been established. Maybe also when you're crossing the street, you touch her a certain way, you touch her back in a certain way, you touch the back of her arm in a certain way, you touch her neck a certain way, and those build up over time. They create sexual tension that just has to be released sometime. And the reason why it's so effective is because most guys don't do this, and also because you're showing your intent early on. What's the worst that's gonna happen? She's not gonna be interested and she's gonna think it's too much of a, a forward move. Who cares? You showed your honesty. If they don't appreciate that honesty, on to the next girl. The idea is, if rapport has been established, more than likely she'll be open to these advances from your end because of the fact that rapport has been established. That's just gonna make her attraction speed up and skyrocket for you in just no time. It's kind of like a win-win situation. You get it over with right away, not because it's a chore, but because it's your honesty and you're showing it, and she just feels more attracted to you as a result of that. It's kind of like the example I was talking about earlier with the oath girl example. You're touching her in a certain way, even if it's not sexual, but it all builds up and it leads to sexual advances and even having sex later on. But the idea is you create sexual tension, and because you're sexually honest and you're so forward in the right way, of course, after rapport has been established, she feels more comfortable opening up to you in other ways and in more major ways in the future, including sexual ways, of course. Because let's face it, most women are simply not used to this. They're not used to guys going in for the kiss on the first date, holding the hand on the first date, touching her in a certain way after rapport has been established on the first date. They're typically too scared, and because they're too timid, they don't indicate their interest by proof. They'd rather say it by words. Oh, I'm really interested in you. Would you like to go out with me? Would you like to grace me with your presence to go out with me? That's kind of like a simp type of move. It's not like a manly move, a forward move, a confident move. Make sense? So tip number 3, emotionally connecting with this girl in the form of either stories from the past, preferably your childhood, nostalgic memories, and with your vulnerability. There's not a right one to choose. It all depends on your personality and also on the vibe that is set between you two. But just for the sake of example, let's go ahead with the nostalgic memories. So something I like to do sometimes is talk about my nostalgic memories from when I used to live in Egypt. I talk about the atmosphere, the good days, the bad days, how I used to pull pranks on people, how I used to throw things from the balcony and then just hide, and also how I used to cut class and then just be afraid of getting caught, or that time I was about to get caught by a specific teacher and they almost ratted on me to my mom. All those memories, after sharing them, the smell of the streets, the good memories, going to that juice bar on the streets where they barely even clean their cups adequately, and I share them in such a passionate way like I am right now, that just makes her feel like she's been connected to me forever and that she's known me for such a long time. Because let's face it, when people share emotional experiences about themselves, sad, happy, nostalgic, whatever it is, the person on the other end feels closer to them. And because women are driven by their emotions, and when you target that the right way and you're speaking with so much passion, even if it's about a sad story temporarily, it's kind of like they shared that experience with you because it was so powerful and it meant so much to you. And then after the date, after you're out with this particular girl, she's thinking, I feel like I've known this guy for years. It's only been a couple of hours. Just a couple of hours ago, he was a stranger to me. But now it's like, he's charming me. He's connecting with me somehow, and I don't know how he's doing it. It's kind of like mystery. It's kind of like mysterious. It's a mysterious vibe to it, but I like it. So now that you're doing all these things, it just magnifies her attraction for you, and now she wants you even more than she actually did. So who's the winner now? Obviously you. So as a recap, guys, the ways to attract women easily are to use banter, to be sexually honest, and to connect emotionally. When you follow these 3 easy tips and you apply them the right way, you're gonna find that you attract women easily and in no time. And better yet, it's gonna give you a lot of confidence for future people, even if it doesn't work out with a particular woman, even if you had a lot of hope in it. The idea is you're a more attractive man because you're demonstrating these traits, and because you're very honest and very forward and you're very charismatic and you're just targeting what she feels the right way, slowly but surely you're going to succeed with the women of your choice, and it's just going to feel effortless and natural on your part. So if you found this message valuable in any way, make sure you hit that like button and you also subscribe below. Make sure you also turn on the bell notifications to get immediate notification when I release my new content. Go to www.dopelifecoaching.com. We still have free consultations for first timers. Make sure you take immediate advantage of that offer. And I shall see you soon. Make sure you apply these the right way, have a growth mindset, attract the women of your choice, and you will be gold in no time. Take care.